Hello, hello, everyone. Lori Swanson here, CEO of InspireTech, the founder of Career Alchemy Academy, the place for women to gather and support each other and get live coaching every week. And all kinds of other wonderful, wonderful things are happening inside of Career Alchemy Academy. And of course, I also do private coaching. So welcome to my weekly broadcast called Career Alchemy, and it's about becoming an alchemist in your career, turning I guess I'd call it the dross, that you might be seeing into gold, as well as amplifying the gold you already have, like increasing the shine on it, like making it even better. So, every week, almost. Last week I was on vacation, so I was not here, but almost every week I come to you live and talk about whatever's on my mind right now. And it's usually something that I put down in a blog. And so you can always find it's not exactly, because I kind of start to riff a little bit, but the basic premise either on LinkedIn, or you can find it at my website, inspiretech.com, which is INSPIHER, tech, TECH.com, in the resources section. Also in that resources section, let me just say, I'm hosting a live a workshop. It starts on Friday at 10 a.m. or no, I'm sorry, noon p.m. Central Time. And it's a free workshop called Using Your Creativity to Unlock Career Clarity. And so we're going to get out of our left brains and we're going to tap into this creative side of ourselves and see what information and insights our expanded self, our higher self, whatever you want to call it, might have, our creativity might have to offer us when it comes to a career dilemma of some sort, why you're feeling stuck, what might be the next step for you, what's your purpose, all of these things. You'll have you got to pick just one to start, but we'll go through a process and you're going to pick a dilemma, and then I'm going to show you how you can get some additional information that can lead to action steps that can get things moving, unstuck. So look for that inside, like I said, our website, or I don't know if we have it posted on LinkedIn yet, but I'll make sure and get it posted out on LinkedIn. And it's going to be a blast and it's going to be so fun. So and it's free, right? So that's that. But today, what I want to talk to you about is something that I'm calling the sweet smell of career success. Or is that marijuana? So yes, now I got your attention, right? So what was happening for me is a week ago plus, so maybe almost a week and a half ago, as I was preparing to write the blog, I woke up and I realized I was feeling very anxious. It was right before going on vacation, and I felt like my calendar was, doubly booked, and my to-do list was extra, full. And all of that was starting to create just this anxiety inside of me. And so I am a coach, and self-coaching is something that I do. And so I decided to, follow some of my own advice and ask myself, what if it was one of my clients, what would I tell them to do? And so I just took my own advice, and first thing I did is I started to deep breathe, because we know that can moves things out of our fear-based left amygdala into our more calm right amygdala. It also, it slows down the release of the stress hormones and brings us back into a level, playing field, so to speak. So I always start with deep breaths. Then I decided to take it outside to nature, start walking around my favorite lake, because that, just moving my body and then being next to trees and water, and how water is just so soothing just because, right? And so I start walking around this lake. I start stomping my feet a little bit because I really wanted to get some of that anxiety, anything that was sort of left over that hadn't been um, you know, discarded. I just wanted to do that. I picked up the pace a little bit and was really starting to feel my muscles, and I was engaging my senses in the present moment. What was I seeing? What was I hearing? How did I feel as my feet stomped on the ground? Um, you know, was there a certain taste that I had? You know, all of those senses, just getting them engaged, that brings me into the present moment. And so I was doing all of that, getting myself present, and stopping sort of I heard someone say this, Rowan Mangan is her name. She's Martha Beck's partner, one of her partners. And she said something about, you know, stopping hypothetically preparing for a bad future, right? Like, here I am in the present moment thinking about the future and causing myself anxiety when nothing has even occurred quite yet, right? So all of this helped for sure. But the thing that really did the trick is I'm walking along around this lake, and all of a sudden I got the whiff, right? The smell of marijuana. And it's something that, I mean, I'm not even surprised anymore. I'm walking down the street in Chicago and I'm like, okay, where's that coming from? I'm in the parking lot at the, local grocery store, and yep, I smell it. I literally, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, you all, but the cars in front of me, if they're smoking like cigarettes or marijuana, I can smell it. It comes out of their car into my vents, and so it's just everywhere. And I was never a pot person. Like, if you know me, I did a lot of drugs in my day, but pot was never something that I was that interested in. But I did like the smell. And so I start looking around and I'm like, where's that coming from? And I see this man, and he's probably, in his 60s, sitting on a picnic bench by the water. He's got his fishing pole in the water. He's just kind of got his legs out. He is so relaxed. He has this little smile on his face, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I got to give me some of that. Not the pot, because I'm still not interested in pot, but the feeling, right? Like that just calm that came off of him, that just relaxed, no cares in the world, enjoying the day, the morning, that moment. And I'm like, I have got to get myself that ease, you know? And so, right. I was thinking about it, and as I thought to myself, how do I get that if and not smoke pot, right? So I'm like, I think because I have creativity and imagination on my brain because I'm preparing for Friday's workshop, then I thought, well, what if I just imagined that I was sitting on a a picnic bench. So I didn't even have to imagine that. So I went over, I sat down on a picnic bench, and then I imagined that, and I don't know, I'm aging myself a little bit, but I remember very distinctly my friends having like a tray that they pour this weed out of their baggie, their plastic baggie, and then they'd start to sift a little bit, getting the stems out. This is not like something I can't say on live, whatever, but they're getting the stems out, getting the seeds out. I'm just going with it, finding like the best buds, right? And then they'd roll these joints and they'd smoke them. So I just started pretending that that was what I was doing. I'm just imagining that I'm going through that ritual that's also part of the pleasure, I think, of the pleasure of a routine and a ritual. There's just something about that. And so I'm imagining I'm doing all of that. Then I imagine I light up. Then I imagine I take a big, um, you know, drag off of the joint. And then I cough because I remember them always saying, if you don't cough, you don't get off, right? And I thought to myself, I wanted to get off, but not like I wanted to get off of the hamster wheel, right? I wanted to get off that, you know, um, produce culture, what's been ingrained in us about this high, that's what makes things, makes you successful or means you had a good day, right? Is that you check off your to-do list and you're super productive. And I wanted to like get off the pressure to always be on. And I wanted to, um, get off the endless, like, okay, that was good. Check. What's next? Check. What's next? Like, that's the pressure I was feeling, is that I had a lot in front of me. And it is true. I had a lot in front of me and stuff I needed to do. I needed to check in for the airline reservation. I needed to make sure that I had everything in order. Like my suitcase was packed, plus all my work stuff. And I had rescheduled a lot of my coaching calls because I wasn't going to be doing coaching while I was on vacation, obviously. And so, yeah, I had a lot to do, but I could do it from a place of peace. I could do it as if was high. No, that's not what I meant to say. But I could do it from a place, you know what I mean? Just that calm. I didn't have to be anxious and worried. It was going to get done. I always get it done, right? I just wanted to approach how I got things done differently. And so, the if you I think if you walked by me at the park, you would have seen um that I looked completely relaxed. Of course, I wouldn't have had a tray full of weed in my hands. That wasn't happening. But you would have seen that I was fully relaxed, that I was, there was ease to just my body, was open. And, and I, and that I'd be like, have this smile on my face that said, I got the secret to life. I pretend my way to a calm, relaxing, um, great day. Like that is it. That's the sweet, sweet smell of career success. It might smell a little like marijuana, but that's only in your mind because you don't, your imagination is so powerful. I know you all have heard about how, I think it was Michael Jordan would lay in bed and imagine himself, right, making free throws. And of course, he was one of the best free throw shooters of all time, if not the best. I don't know all the records by heart, but he was definitely up there. And so you can imagine every day being one of like a pace um, that's deliberate but calm, easy, that you're just whatever's right in front of you, you're getting that done, and then you're moving on to the next thing. You're not putting yourself future casting, right? You're not putting yourself in looking at the whole to-do list. You're looking at one thing because that's really all you can do in the moment is this one thing. And so giving it your full attention, that mindfulness practice that they talk about, like giving that your full attention and knowing that you're going to give it your full attention. And I think that's really important, is when you know that you're going to be giving whatever it is you're doing next, your full attention. There's something really calm about that because, you're not, uh, you can trust yourself that you're not going to be, following this shiny penny and then checking your emails. And you're like, nope, one thing in this moment, just nice little, sweet, calm smile on my face, doing what's necessary and imagining that all of my outcomes, all of my days are like this, that every day I get out of bed and know that my to-do list will get done as it gets, and it'll be perfect. And I don't have to take any drugs, and I can have a magnificent day. So that's what I wanted to sort of encourage you to be thinking about, is that you can pretend your way to a great day. Find something, find a place in your mind that's, you know, a past experience that had you feeling the way you want to feel in the moment. Because I can pretty much tell you, you never want to feel anxious and worried. That's just not how people, if you're like, you have a choice of all the feelings. Oh, well, give me worried, give me angst. That's just not happening. So find that peace inside of yourself. Find the times when, like for me, I know walking in trees is gonna work for me. And if I can't get out of my house and do it, like some days, truly, it's so icy. I live in Chicago, right? It's so icy in the winter that I can't get outside, but I can get outside in my mind. And that has me thinking about a fantastic movie called um, Butterfly and the Diving Bell. And it's the same thing. It's a true story. Check it out. But this man had gotten into a paralyzing accident, and then he began to use his imagination to create a life for himself. And our imagination is always available to us. It's just always available to us. And we can create exactly the life we want. We can create exactly how we want to feel um, through our imagination. So, using creativity to unlock career clarity, that workshop on Friday, we are going to really, I'm going to be giving you a method and a process so that you can access more fully your imagination. And it's like we have 4 live calls over 2 weeks. You'll be doing something, you know, I mean, nothing is set in stone, but I encourage people every day to spend a little bit of time, even 5 minutes, with their uh, this process that I'll be teaching. And I think it can absolutely change the trajectory of not just your career, but how you, I really think it's more about how you approach your to-do list, your career, your life, your relationships, all that. Like this is the 4th time I'm doing this. Like this thing is like magic. So anyways, that's all I have for you all today. I look forward to seeing you again next week. I'm a little later today because I had 2 events, and I met with one of the women who's part of my leadership group. We're co-leading now. So I asked her if she'd co-lead with me, and she said yes. So we just met for coffee in between 2 events. So that's why we're delayed today. But the rest of October, it will be at 1 o'clock Central Time here live on LinkedIn. And I hope that you can join me. And if you have some sort of topic you want me to dig into, LinkedIn message me. All of you on YouTube, message me out there, email me, whatever. I love to, you know, help. If answer, give you advice with all my 25 years in recruiting, anything like that, just always reach out. I'm here and looking forward to talking with you. So, and let's just continue to imagine the best of every day. Talk soon.